I get asked the same question all the time. Joe, how do you develop your weak foot? So today, we're gonna walk through exactly how to do that. We're gonna go through easy, medium, and hard progressions. We're gonna cover each and every exercise that you need to do to have a complete weak foot. One that is equal to your strong foot. Let's get straight into it. Having a solid weak foot is about covering three important topics. First is about first touch. That's both out of the air and on the ground. Next, it's about being able to shoot. And the next one is being able to pass. These things are crucial for having a solid and complete weak foot. So I'm gonna give you guys the exercises to cover each of these topics. We're gonna break down the reps and sets for each of these exercises so that you guys have a clear picture on what to work on. If I haven't introduced myself yet, my name is Joe Eford, and I've played over 11 plus years of professional football all over countries in Europe, Belgium, Scotland, Spain, Greece, and more. This is covering the first divisions of all these countries. Let's start with the easy progressions. First, starting with passing. We have 3 sets of 75 passes with your weak foot. After the 75 passes, you're gonna take a break, rest, and then go to the next set. So starting off, we're gonna be really close to the wall. We're not looking to be too far away. What you'll notice even with your weak foot is that this will be difficult for many of you. Focus on one spot in the wall and try to make contact with it. Lock that ankle and focus on consistency of the weight of the pass. Some of you may struggle and it may come too short, or you might hit it too hard and you might have to take a touch. But through progression and over time, you will learn how to weigh your pass. Okay, after 3 sets of that, let's move into the next exercise. The medium progression now for the passing. So backing up a little bit from the wall, we're gonna be using our weak foot here, okay? So the same thing. Now we're taking 2 touches. So this is gonna teach you how to receive the ball as well as teach you how to pass with your weak foot, okay? So we're giving good contact on the ball, controlling the ball right in front of us. Focus on the weight of that first touch, okay? That's the basis of having a good weak foot. Being able to control the ball, as well as make good quality passes. If it's bouncing, adjust. For the sets and reps, we have 3 sets of 25 good quality passes and good quality receiving of the ball. That first touch is crucial. The first touch sets up everything else in football for our hard progression. Same thing, we're hitting the ball off the wall, we're taking our first touch, but this time we're immediately throwing a skill move. So this is gonna connect us into that game realistic aspect. Focus on isolating that weak foot, okay? So let's walk through it now. First touch, throw a skill move, bring it back. Play, first touch, skill move, play. Let's move into the next exercise, which is focusing on striking the ball with our weak foot. The technique that we need to focus on is locking the ankle and striking through the ball. This is our easy progression for our striking phase, because what it's gonna do is gonna teach you how to lock that ankle, engage that calf, and strike through the ball. The reason that many players can't strike with their weak foot is because they have not developed the comfort and safety that their nervous system needs in order to strike. That means they don't have the brain connection to their foot, causing it to lock and to be strong. If your ankle is wobbly, you will never be able to strike the ball. So it's important and crucial that we spend time at this progression. Let's talk about technique now. For the laces strike, the technique is crucial and important. We're pointing the toe straight down. We don't want the foot falling in or out. If it's falling out, that's good for an outside the foot pass, but we're looking for a strike. So teaching the brain how to activate that ankle, having it straight down, is important and crucial. Let the foot feel weak at first, and then let it get strong. You need to naturally strike straight down. Knee to toe should be in a straight line. and we're striking through the ball. You're gonna notice a thump when the ball's hitting your foot because the ankle is weak, but over time you'll notice that it gets stronger. You're gonna feel a bit of pain and stiffness in the front of the ankle, as well as the soleus, which is the muscle below the calf, as well as strengthening of the calf. This is crucial and important for helping you strike better. After that, let's move into the next medium progressions of the shooting. To our medium progressions now, which is on our shooting topic. This is all about teaching you guys the proper form on how to strike the ball. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be right in front of the goal mouth. You're gonna take as many balls as you can. Here I have 6 or 7. What's important and crucial is the technique. Pay attention to these steps now. So step 1, we're paying attention to how we plant our foot. When we're approaching the ball, we're planting the foot very aggressively and very firm. Put that weight into that foot. This allows you to generate power. So focusing on landing hard on that foot is important. Step 2, it's the wind up. So as you plant, the wind up, or what we call the helicopter, is where you're gonna open up your arm, and that's gonna provide balance and power. As you're planting and you open up your arm in a helicopter, you're now seeing the form of a shot. You're coming back, and then your follow through is coming through. This is where you're gonna see the easy progression, which was all about locking that ankle and striking against the wall, come into play. So after step 2, which is your wind up, it's how you're making contact with the ball. The toe should be pointed straight down, and you're making direct contact with the laces. You're striking directly into the ball. Notice where my arm is. This is where the helicopter comes into play. So after that, you're planting, wind up, striking. As you make contact with the ball, we're following through with so much power that it's causing us to land on our shooting foot. I'm gonna walk through, and then I'm gonna walk you through it again. Pay attention. All in one motion. Land on that shooting foot. The reason we land on our shooting foot is because we're generating so much power that we're following through and we're landing. Imagine if you're a baseball player and you're swinging and you stop right here. No, the baseball player swings all the way through. Imagine if you're playing tennis and you hit the ball and they just stop. No, they swing all the way through. So the same thing for us is as we're striking, we're landing on our shooting foot. This is something that has to be practiced. And now let's walk through the reps and sets. We have 3 sets of 10 to 15 shots. Focusing on the technique here. I'm gonna continue to walk you guys through it so you can pay attention and learn it for your own, okay? So have your balls in line with the goal, right in front of the goal mouth. Focus on getting that ball to lift and rise. Don't let the ball just stay on the ground. Focus on really striking through the ball, okay? Let's go. Do you see the form? Pay attention. Notice how I'm getting my angle. I'm angling myself correctly. I'm stepping in, I'm planting hard, I'm winding up, and I'm landing on my shooting foot. I want to focus more on the ankle real quick and show you how the easy progression integrates with your medium progression and with your shot. Let me put these balls away, then we're going to talk through it. Let's focus on the contact of the ball here, okay? So notice how my foot is directly pointed down. This is where that calf, the soleus, and the ankle that has been taught how to lock comes into play. If the whole body is strong, but the ankle and the calves are failing, you cannot strike with power. So as we're making contact with the ball, we're locking that ankle and we're striking through the ball. Your shot will get stronger and stronger the more that you work on it and the more that you focus on keeping that toe pointed straight down. Let's move into our hard progressions of our shooting. So this is freestyle shooting. So we're gonna be outside of the box and we're gonna be using our weak foot to find the corners, focusing on locking that ankle and making contact with the ball. we're not using the inside of the foot here. This is not about finesse. This is about teaching the foot how to strike with power and starting to get into striking with accuracy. So pay attention also to the technique that we learned. When you start using that technique and you start repeating it over and over again, it's called muscle memory. You're teaching the brain and the nervous system what you want and how to do things. If one time you strike and the foot is wobbly, and then the next time you strike it's really tight, that means that your body's not having any sort of consistency and it doesn't know what to go off of. So try to focus on your technique more than anything. Don't focus on power, don't focus on accuracy, focus on hitting the back of the net, but with power. You might need to move closer as you need to slowly progress back. That can also be a key thing for you and help you improve long term. And for the reps and sets of the shooting, we have 3 sets of 6 shots. So get good 6 quality shots, rest, and then move into your next 2. So same thing. Now the ball is going to be on a move. So it's moving in the same form. Arm motion, helicopter, plant the foot, follow through, lock that ankle. All of these are the key topics that are going to help you strike with power and accuracy. Let's move on now to first touch. How to develop your weak foot to have a great first touch that is similar or even stronger than your good foot. We have our easy, medium, and hard progressions, and we're gonna walk through them now. Starting off with our easy progressions, we have 500 weak foot juggles, okay? So we're staying under the knee and we're learning to juggle. We're doing this for 500 reps. If you need to, split it up and break it up into different sets. So for example, you could do 2 sets of 250 and then rest. Notice how I'm bouncing on my feet and I'm not just stagnant like this. This is teaching you to isolate your weak foot. After you do your below the knee juggling, you're gonna isolate with above the knee juggling, okay? If you guys are struggling to juggle, I'm gonna leave the juggling masterclass here to teach you exactly how to juggle within 90 days. We have 250 reps of above the knee juggling before we move on to the next medium phase of the first touch topic. Now let's move into our medium topic, where it's all about receiving the ball out of the air. So take the ball in your hands, and I want it to be in your hands so that you can really isolate that first touch with your weak foot. You're gonna toss it up above your head and you're gonna bring it down with the laces, okay? We have 1 set of 15 to 25 reps. Depending on your level, it's gonna say if you're gonna at 15 or you're gonna be at 25. So toss it up and bring it down with the laces, okay? Pick it back up in your hands, toss it up and bring it down with your laces. After that, we're gonna move now into inside of the foot, receiving. So receive it with your weak foot at the inside of the foot, let it fall to the ground, and then pick it up, toss it up, bring it down with the weak foot, and reset. Again, we have the same amount of reps and sets. We have 1 set of 15 to 25 reps. Now let's move on to the hard progression. So this is about the same thing as the medium progression, but this time we're adding in a finish. So we're hitting the ball really high up into the air. We're bringing it down with our weak foot, controlling it, and then we're finishing into our corners. This is gonna develop the ability in a game realistic situation to bring the ball out of the air with your weak foot and then to finish on goal. So take the ball in your hands. We're throwing it quite high in the air. We're bringing it down with the laces, controlling and finishing. We have 3 sets of 6 shots on goal. That concludes the video. Let's review quickly our easy progressions, medium progressions, and hard progressions. Firstly, for our first topic, we have passing. So we have right up close to the wall. We're focusing on the inside of the foot and we're focusing on the laces. For our medium progression, we're backing up and we're using that 2-touch pass. So focusing on receiving the ball as well as giving a stronger pass further away. For the hard set, it becomes more game realistic. We're focusing on receiving the ball this time, but we're also throwing a skill move at the end, a game realistic speed. This will start teaching the brain how to isolate that foot. Next, moving into our shooting, we have our easy progressions, which starts with the striking the ball. Then we move into teaching us how to actually use the form with the ball stationary, where we focus on stationary technique, teaching you guys the fundamentals of striking the ball properly. That included the arm swing, planting the foot, how we lock our ankle, and how we land on our shooting foot. Then we moved into our hard, which is all about game realistic striking with the ball. So we moved outside of the box, and we were using our weak foot to move the ball at pace and strike on goal. I let you guys know that if you start closer up, you can build up your progressions as you move further away and as you get more advanced. Then we moved into our next topic, which was about receiving the ball out of the air. So for our easy progressions, we started with juggling. We did below the knee, isolation juggle with the weak foot. We did above the knee, isolation juggle with the weak foot. After that, we moved into our medium progressions, where we covered receiving the ball out of the air. We received the ball out of the air with the inside of the foot and with the laces. After that, we moved into our hard progressions, where we combined receiving the ball out of the air with striking on goal. This allowed us to be in a more game realistic situation. If you guys enjoyed this content, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. We're gonna be dropping content like this every single week. It's gonna help you guys go to the next level.